petite and so well-mannered. You've been just chowing it down for 3 hours. You realize you have been not pulling back.
I have not, because I have been enjoying all the food very, very much.
Let's go back. Is it 150 years here, Marie-Louise?
Yeah, we're pushing 150 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
With Jenny Lee and these loaves of cinnamon swirl bread. So again, it's like a lot of things, like cheesecake or chicken and dumplings. You can get, or jam. We just had it. You can get other versions. You can get bread a lot of places.
Yeah, you can.
Right?
You
but this
can.
is very unique bread. So let's go through the what you're getting story here, if you would, because there's a cinnamon, a cinnamon raisin, a cinnamon apple, and a cinnamon chocolate chip, right? Which you can get right now individually if you want to, or, and that's 4 of those loaves in one of the flavors.
That's correct.
Or if you want to go for it, combo all the way. Combo's the way to go here. But if you love cinnamon raisin, you're there. Or the classic cinnamon. So let's dive into the difference.
Love everything about this story. You and me getting on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, heading west. We're going to go a little due south of Pittsburgh to McKees Rock, Pennsylvania. 5 generations of bakers, goes back to 1875. We love this. Using a recipe that just goes back generations, fermented, using yeast, old world style, small batch, made by hand. Everything gets a chance to rise, it gets rolled out, it gets sheeted, it gets filled with this great mix of Indonesian and Vietnamese cinnamon sugar. It rises again. It goes into a special style of crimping pan. So it's round. It's our signature pan. It bakes up beautifully. It comes out of there.
Yeah.
It jumps into the butter bath.
That's the show.
From the butter bath.
I remember doing
soaks up that pure butter.
The Skype with these guys.
Now look at that. Can you imagine that butter soaking up that delicious cinnamon sugar? Everything is pre-sliced for you. It is sent to you in a bag. You want to eat it fresh, or you can pop it into the freezer. Take out as needed. You've got 6 months on that. You have got a wonderful family story. Scott Baker, 5th generation, and a day when he could probably do something easier, is still baking that recipe that everybody loves.
How do you describe the consistency of it? Because this is what
the texture.
The texture of it, because this is what I was using again and again with the jams. I went right to this, because it's a really great texture.
Okay, so on the outside, you want that buttery, crunchy cinnamon sugar.
There's a
but
crunch to
then
it.
when you bite into it, you want a little bit of pull. You want a really nice texture, and the texture, because it's a fermented old world style dough, the way that it's baked, makes this ideal for toasting. So all of those flavors come together, and the ingredient profile that they choose, 13 all natural ingredients. I want to tell you about the ingredients in this, because this is what makes it super special.
Want to hear about it in a second. Letting you know the jams, there's 400 remaining in the jams. So they're all individually wrapped up. The jams are on your screen right now. 1, 2, wow. Okay, go for it, Marie.
All right, so the cinnamon on here. You don't have just any cinnamon. They import the cinnamon. It's made especially them from Vietnam and Indonesia. That makes a big difference. So you've got that cinnamon swirl all the way down here. Next to that one, you've got the raisins. They get the raisins from California. Plump, juicy California Thompson raisins, which we love.
Keep going.
Next to that, the apples. The apples come from Washington State.
That's going to be a cinnamon
dehydrated.
apple.
Yeah, the cinnamon apple. They're all cinnamon all the way through, but the apples, they're beautifully dehydrated, specifically for Jenny Lee. So you've got Fuji, Golden Delicious, and Granny Smith apples that they send to us out in McKee Rock. And then on the end, you've got the chocolate chips. Not just any chocolate chips, but the big milk chocolate chips that they keep in the freezer until they're stirred into the batter to bake, so they don't melt too much. So you get that delicious cinnamon and milk chocolate come together, especially when you toast.
I'm getting 4 loaves now.
4
I'm going to
loaves.
put them in the freezer?
Yeah, you want to put them in the freezer, or you want to eat them right away. You don't want to put them into the refrigerator. You should never refrigerate bread. So
Room
when you get them
temperature
home
or
fresh, when you get them home fresh, room temperature, finish them off or pop them into the freezer, because there's nothing artificial, no preservatives in these.
And now let's toast them, because they're great toasted, right?
Yeah, they're really great toasted.
Love that.
It just brings back the memories so many of us know of. Look at this, and I want to show you this, and we'll go back to my thought here. This is, I don't know, Lisa's an Ohio girl.
That's the end.
Did y'all fight over this? This is what we call the heel in Ohio. Look at the end of this. It's almost like a saucer of that delicious bread and then all of that cinnamon sugar on there. So you've got that end piece to fight over on there. But still keeping to that traditional recipe is why it's important. You go to McKees Rock and the whole place smells like bread baking. I mean, it's just wonderful.
So here's that process once again.
Yeah.
So you're going to get them. You got your choice of the cinnamon raisin, cinnamon apple, cinnamon chocolate chip, or the combo. Process matters.
Yeah, process matters, small batch matters, fermentation matters. That's when you use the yeast, that yeast dough that allows that traditional recipe to rise beautifully. It's sheeted out, it's loaded with that cinnamon sugar. All 4 of the loaves are loaded. There's Bernie, that's Scott's dad. Bernie is still on the line there. It gets rolled up.
Great.
It goes into a special pan. You can see that round pan. They call it a crimping pan. So you've got all your ingredients in there. It rises. They allow it to bake again. Then after it is baked, it goes into
Here comes.
butter bath.
The butter
It is
bath.
a spa for the Jenny Lee
And then the
Loaves of
roll.
cinnamon swirl. And then a roll, generous
That's great.
roll in that cinnamon sugar. Everything is already pre-sliced for you. It's put into packages. It arrives to you fresh.
Can you imagine?
Eat it or pop it in the freezer, and you got 6 months.
5 generations of bakers.
5 generations
Like
of
that's
bakers.
a long
Yeah.
time to stay. Okay, somebody's gonna say, I don't want to do this. I want to
1875.
become an accountant. I want to go somewhere. Like they stay in the family. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
and you know what? We have to say we've won the award for Best Bread 2 years in a row. So we're very thankful to our QVC family. Also, the popularity has allowed us to expand. So we're looking forward to bringing a lot of new items to our QVC family as well.
Part of that expansion, by the way, is to keep it coming because they're going to keep baking for you. It's on our auto delivery program. So every 60 days for 1 full year, this is coming to you. And by the way, the size of these loaves are perfect. Like to get forward because
They're beautiful.
They stay in your freezer.
They do. And can I tell you all the different ways to use these? These are great if you just like a little bit of butter and jam because you've got that cinnamon sugar all the way around. I love these toasted, the raisin especially, with a good chicken salad and a nice piece of lettuce and a tomato.
Yeah.
This makes a great bread pudding. It makes a great French toast.
Love that.
Lots
Love
of
that.
things you can do with bread.
Choosing toast,
And this
little
is
butter,
my
and some of
favorite.
that jam. Simple, absolute classic, and you're going to love, love, love it. Here's the update on the jam. Here's the update on the breads, too. Want the cinnamon apple, chocolate chip, or the cinnamon, 300 remaining in each. Combo, only 878 remaining now. M90501. And here's the update on the jam. Started with 2,200, 300 remaining.
Mama.
That's
All
it.
right. That's it.
That's good. It's pear, ginger, lime jam.
Cool.
It's good.